So let's say hello. Hello, Shievonne.
Hello, Lewis. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good.
Now, what's life like now for you after coming out of the house? It must be quite manic, I'd imagine.
It's absolutely crazy. You come out and you're like, hold on, real people, and you see birds and trees and grass. Like, you come out and it's just a whirlwind, and you've got BB bots and stuff like that, and you see your family. But it's so much fun when you come out, honestly. Like, every housemate comes out and they just have the best time.
Oh, well, it must. And like I said, what actually made you want to go in that house? Because it must be quite a big decision on your behalf, really, because it's quite a big show.
Well, you know me, Lewis. I probably wanted to be in there from '98, obviously, back in the way back. So I always wanted to go on from the Channel 4 days, and I just thought, I'm so lazy. I was like, I can't queue up, and I don't want to do this. And this year, I just thought, let me just send in a video. I didn't even think I'd get picked because I was like, well, there's nothing interesting about me.
Oh, yes, there is.
Well, I never knew. Well, clearly someone thought it was, which was hilarious. And then I just thought, just do it. I just thought, what's the worst that could happen? Like, well, you get booed. But if nothing else worse can happen to you. But it was a great decision.
Now, what was it like when Brian, he introduced you for the first time to the whole crowd and you walked out on that stage? What was the feeling like? That must have been quite crazy.
The thing is, you've got so much adrenaline, and then you hear your VT, so you can hear. All I heard was Peter Pan, Lewis, and I thought, oh my God, that is Peter Pan. And you're standing there, and you can just see a sea of people and flashes, and your nerves, you're just like, oh my God. And obviously for the girls, we're always thinking about, let's not hit the deck, we don't want to slip in the high heels. So you're trying to walk like RoboCop and still look cute at the same time, and you're like, okay, I can't look cute and keep it mute because he's going to speak to me. But honestly, it's so weird. But Brian's so lovely. He's always so nice to us, which was really good.
And so, when you first you walk down the stairs and you see the rest of the people in the house, what was your first thought? Just as soon as you saw them, without even speaking to them, you're like, oh, this is a nice, crazy bunch of people.
Well, I walked in and the first thing I saw was Dina's dress, and I thought, oh my God, that's my wedding dress. I just thought that dress looks wicked. And then I looked over at Caroline, and Caroline was just screaming, oh, something about Nutella, I can't remember. And Aaron, that's all I saw. I just remember thinking, we're in the Big Brother house. It's the weirdest thing. You go in and then you hear the door shut behind you and you're like, oh my God, my sentence has begun.
You kind of had at times, obviously, we saw a lot from you, and you showed yourself as a fun, happy person. But at times, you do wear your emotions on your sleeve, and there was a few people in there who may have rubbed you up the wrong way, and I mean, especially Adam's comments, which I think were totally nonsense kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with that? Because you're in such a small space, and you have to live with these people, so having conflict with them and whilst living with them must be quite a tough thing for you.
It is, because, I mean, you go in there and you're like, oh, I'm just going to have fun, and I'm not going to get upset. And it's like, okay, that, in hindsight, maybe, but 24 hours a day with people, you grow maybe somewhat what you think is a real friendship. And then you have situations where it hits you so deep that you literally cannot be quiet. You just let it rip. And I think anyone who can be in there and not have an argument for 3 months or 2 months is a robot. Because in there, if you're genuine, your emotions are genuine. You can't control emotions. That's why they're just so unpredictable. But in there, I just thought, do you know what? I'm really upset, and the whole world's going to know about it. My face has already told you I'm upset. My hands have told you, and now my mouth is going to tell you as well. So you just let it out. And the thing is, you just hope that when you come out, that people don't really hold grudges. If you do show emotion, anger or sadness, and just people can, hold no grudges and move on.
So for you, who would you say was kind of the strongest person in there for you to go to if you needed anybody? Who was your strength in a way, would you say?
To go to talk to will probably be Dina or Ashley. Like, Dina used to talk to me all the time about, like, if I was upset, she'd be like, look, Shievonne, just be calm. And I'm like, babe, I wish I could, but I can't do that. And Ashley will be like, Shievonne, right, we're in here to have fun, right? We're in here
That's such a good impression.
Right? Let's just do it. And I'm like, okay. Like, honestly, those two I'd probably go to all the time. And just, and even Lauren used to give me little pep talks as well. And I was like, if it looks like I'm getting upset, Lauren, just pull me away or calm me down. So you do find people in there that you can bond with and you can talk to as well.
I mean, you mentioned that you're quite close to Dina. Now, Dina's kind of had a lot of different people have been saying different things about her, but I think Dina is one of the most genuine people in there, because I suppose for you, having watching it back, she does actually say what she thinks to the person as well. So what are your thoughts regarding Dina?
Well, the thing is that Dina, got to know Dina really well. Like, when I came out and I was like, hold on a minute, the show looks like I barely spoke to the girl. I was always talking to her. And I never got involved with the whole Aaron and Connor, because I love Aaron and I love Connor as well. And I was just judging them on how they treat me, and they treated me like a sister, so I was fine with it. But Dina is very strong in there. Like, she's probably gone through it on her own, because she didn't grow a strong bond with anyone from the get-go, which obviously Aaron had Connor and I had Ashley. She used to say to me, like, Shievonne, I don't feel like I've made any real good friends in here. And she genuinely, to go through that journey on her own, and yes, she's had, you know, the arguments and stuff, but she's still standing and she's still in the house. So I think a lot of people do think she's like, you know, this shy, timid girl, and she's not. She's a businesswoman on the outside. Like, she can fight her own battles as well.
Now, I'd really love to get your opinion on the next housemate I want to ask you about. Since leaving the house and watching some back, what would you kind of say about Caroline?
Ooh, well, well, we have to go there, Lewis. I don't know. You know, the thing about it is, in the house, she's very aware of her bitching, and she's like, Shievonne, I cannot stop bitching. She goes, it's like verbal diarrhea. She goes, I can't stop bitching. And I'm like, babe, you've got to stop. And then when I come out and I'm watching it, I'm like, oh no. You know, when you're watching it and you're like, oh no, she's talking about this person, whoopsie. The backlash, I thought people would really like her on the outside. So then watching it, I'm like, I think the house is bringing out her worst qualities. I genuinely believe that house is just not positive for her right now. And I think she probably is ready to go. From the episodes I've been watching, it's clear she just genuinely thinks she's coming out tonight. And I think she's just sort of like rebelling a bit as well.
No, I personally think she's going to get the worst reception of this year as well. From last week, the chance to get Caroline out was so clear, and no housemates really had that.
Yeah, I know, because remember, you need to interpret it like it's people talking in tongues at church. Like, we're like, hold on, what did they say? Leprechaun? What? Because there's so much noise, and you're like, what are they saying? That was clear as the day. But then, at the same time, I've read people's bios when I came out, and Caroline's bio is actually what she's actually doing now. She's always said that she was a rebel, and she likes to cause trouble. But I genuinely believe, like, I had a panic attack coming out to my booze. She needs to come out with headphones, Dre beats, or something.
Now, one thing that kind of you did stand out for in there is you're very good with your hands, because when you were... when you were in there, you were waving around when you were talking, and I could just imagine you doing it now as you're talking. And even we had a question from one of your fans. They're called Lorianne Forney Lucy, and they tweeted me saying, "Can you ask Shievonne if she is Italian, because she always uses her hands so much when she speaks? Why is that?"
Do you know what? I went to an Italian restaurant, and he goes, "Are you sure? You need to get that familytree.com pop in." He goes, "Have you got Italian? Because those hands are..." I said, "Babe, maybe. I do love a good tan, so you never know." And honestly, you know what it is? Because my brain, my hands, and my mouth are not in unison, Lewis. It's like the hands are on a wave that is not with the mouth. Because when I'm saying something, sometimes the hands aren't necessary. But now I watch it back, I'm like, oh my God, I've never knew I used my hands that much. But clearly, I need to get that sign that I had in the house. I think I should have that in real life as well.
So for you, what I really want to know now is what's kind of next for you, because I imagine there's so many you got to think about it, because we spoke earlier in the week when I was texting you, and you said you might look into comedy or something like that, because I think you'd do really well in a kind of presenting role.
Yes, that's what I'd love to do, like any presenting or comedic acting. And I did acting in school. Like, that's something that I've always been really good at, is performing arts, always from I was little. So now I'm just like, okay, well, maybe go down the comedy route, some impressions or something like that, or I'll even do sign language at this point, Lewis, because I've been approached already. And they're like, no, for children's channel, like, the children will love you because you'll be giving it with the hands, and then you're funny with the face as well. So I think I'll just do something that's just fun. Remember, I'm getting old, Lewis. The time's ticking for me.
You're not getting old.
Babe, I'm 78. Didn't you see? I did no physical activity in the house. I'm old. So I'm just going to go with the flow and just, ride this Big Brother wave and see where it takes me. But definitely something to do with comedy, I think, or presenting.
Now, for you in the house, you did kind of come across as such a real person, because so each week I have this presenter in the studio who does a show after me called Cole, and he also said that he thought you were very genuine as well. So why is it the kind of most genuine, fun housemates are being evicted out of the house, and kind of maybe some of the not as interesting housemates are being left in there?
That's the thing that's quite annoying every year. It's the same thing every year with Big Brother. Like, people just aren't thinking about, are they voting for entertainment? Because yes, a housemate might rub people up the wrong way, and arguments like, let's say Aaron. Yes, okay, fine. At the time, he did rub people up the wrong way, but it's Big Brother. It's fun. The characters that you want to see are the ones that are the rebels, the ones that are comedic, but then yet they get taken out. And then the last 2 weeks of the show is just dead because you've got no jokes in there, you've got no comedy, you've got no drama. Characters like Victoria coming out early, Benedict, like people like those are entertaining. And then they're taken out, and then, you know, you're just literally watching paint dry for 2 weeks. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen tonight and see if people are voting with their head or people voting with the masses.
Yeah. And I mean, also when we were speaking to Aaron last week, he was kind of saying that, because you are only seeing a 45-minute from a 24-hour day, and that, when you think about it kind of logically, you are seeing such a small amount from the Big Brother house. So I suppose the edit, when you've watched some of your things, episodes back, you must have thought, hang on, I'm not really like that, or you must have seen things you weren't, you know, keen on.
Yeah, because, I mean, you watch it, and, yeah, it is only 45 minutes, and there's even things I've spoke about when I've come out, and I'm like, did you see when X, Y happened? And they're like, no. And we're like, hold on, half the good stuff didn't even make the show. And then, you know, every show, they have to create a storyline, and there might be a villain in that particular storyline, and that villain could be you, but you know that that's not your real character. That house does bring out your worst qualities, and then you get slated for it. But at the same time, you're just thinking, well, the only people who can really judge me are the people who, A, know me on the outside, as in family, and are the other housemates, because we live with each other 24 hours a day. We're just in each other's faces for the whole day. So the edit does make a big difference, because I think that's why half the people boo when you get out. That's why you get, you know, you do get a little bit of grief as well. But honestly, it's such a short show, and it's upsetting when you get out and you watch it and you're like, no, I'm completely not like that at all.
I can imagine, because like I said, you in there you come across really genuine, but when we were speaking to Aaron, he was saying that kind of, him and Dina did have a friendship in the house as well, and a lot of jokes, but that wasn't shown. The edit was only showing certain arguments with people.
No, because the thing is, Aaron, he's a ledge. Like, the boy actually made bridges with Dina, and he, you know, towards the end, they were actually talking, laughing, they were on the green team together. Like, even before Turf Wars, Aaron was like, look, you know, I've been saved by the public. He goes, I'm actually a really nice guy, and I'm going to really, you know, if me and you can just get a fresh slate. And he said the same to Lydia as well. And Aaron didn't have to do that, but then they never showed that. They just want to promote that you're this villain, and it's not anything like that. And I think the test of time is when all the housemates come out and they can confirm or deny whether something is true or not, because I think then we'll see which people are actually genuine and actually, or which people want to continue drama when they get out the house.
And we've had quite a few questions for you, Shievonne, and a lot of people want to know, who do you actually want to win the show now?
Oh God, this is going to be a hard one. Because I genuinely want Connor to win. I love Connor. He's a good boy, good family. I've never had any altercations with him or anything. But then I'd love Ashley to win at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'd also love Scott to win.
So yeah, Scott,
he's my favourite. I can't do one, Lewis. I can't do it.
We'll have three.
No, can I have four?
Okay.
I'm like, can I have 8? No. Connor, Ashley, Scott, or Dina. Them 4.
Now, it's interesting with Connor, because in the last, say, 3 weeks ago, Connor was a little bit, in my opinion, just my opinion, he came across, in my eyes, as a little bit, sometimes bullying a few housemates. And, but now I don't think that at all.
It's a load of balls. I've never heard something so stupid in my life. I understand with the whole Dina thing, like, I get it, and I just stay well out of that. I'm just judging Connor on how me and his friendship was, and he's a great guy, and I just think that entertainment-wise, you know, if him and Aaron were still left in there, it would be jokes every day. You guys would be actually crying, laughing, but, you know, he's not got a lot to work with, because obviously Luke S is with Ashley, and, you know, he can only kind of mess about and be fun with Caroline, but I genuinely... like, Connor's got a strong team. He's got the whole of Ireland behind him. Like, he's going to be in the final 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
He's come across as, in the last 2 days, such a nice guy. I really have changed my opinion. He's so genuine. He's saying what he thinks, and he is such a nice guy. So my opinion has completely gone up with Aaron.
Yeah, and I'm glad, because I'm like, when he cried because Dina got a letter, and I thought, God, the people think he's a robot. Like, he's got a sister. Like, he's got a family. He's a very family-orientated guy, and whether he's got problems with Dina or not, he would even emotionally, like I said, you can't control your emotions. That was real emotion for him to cry for someone else and not cry for himself.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good, and I'm just glad that some people are being converted and say, actually, no, Connor is a really nice guy.
Well, Shievonne, it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you. You're so genuine, and I really look forward to stuff you've done in the past, and I'd love to stay in contact and get you on the show a couple more times if that's something you'd be interested in.
I'd love to do that, Lewis. It's all good in the hood, my darling.
Brilliant. See, that's the little phrases I like as well.
Throw a little one in there. There's some new ones, but, keep tuned for the new ones.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure, Shievonne.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye.